10%, 15, 15. So that would end it completely. I wonder if instead it's going to give me bonuses if I manage to do this just by fixing my economy. And I've done all of this without increasing inflation. Indochina declares independence. After the Weltkrieg, Germany seized French Indochina, but stability wasn't restored until Germany crushed the South China revolutionaries in 1926. Now Indo-Chinese nationalists and leftists under a coalition government called the Viet Minh have risen up against the colonial regime. Swedish Riksdag elections. The election campaign of 1936 has been dominated by underhanded tactics, stirred up emotions and thinly veiled threats. At this point, the only certainty is that whoever will stand victorious after this election will need to cooperate with the others to secure a majority. So the AV are the Social Conservatives, and the SAP are the... what are they called? These guys, Social Democrats. So, chat. Who wins? Get your votes in. Vote, vote, vote. What do you think happens here? Speaking as someone who works at the post office, damn you Amazon, damn you to hell with your Prime Day. It's so cheap though. It's good for people like me who don't exactly have a lot, having lived out of a hotel for 2 months. SAP is not that far, they're Social Democrats. This is basically centre-left versus centre-right. Sweden's pretty moderate. Okay. Once again, very close run thing. 3F Tropus contributing 4,000 channel points, and then Riverboat contributing 550 bits. Thank you very much for doing that. So we've got AV remaining on top, losing out. So we are instead going to go with the SAP Triumph. Social Democracy increases by 15%. The SA, they're dominant. 50% vote now. 49.5. And we've just witnessed the complete collapse of the AV. And that's also going to open up, I would imagine, opposition victory. Oh, could we have gone market liberal? No. Yes, we could. It's just good business. Except the market liberals are flipping tiny, so not really... Wait, the Folkpartiet market liberal? Oh, they are! I thought the Folkpartiet were like the national populists. Huh. I stand corrected. Cabinet to Huntsson the First. For the second time in history, the first time being in 1919, the Swedish Social Democrats, united in their SAP party, have secured a clear electoral victory over their rivals, especially the General Electoral League of Gösta Bagge. We do not possess an absolute majority, however. We will need to form an alliance with one of the other parties in the Riksdag. During the campaign, already, we left the door open to work with the radically socialist SVV, which would likely be the most straightforward path to achieving socialism by democratic means. But it would be a major upset and is likely to bring the Swedish right up in arms. Alternatively, we could form an alliance with the agrarian Bondeforbundet. This would likely require compromise on our vision, but it wouldn't nearly polarize Swedish politics as much. Whichever option we choose, Lindman's conservative era seems finally behind us, and a new Sweden shall rise from it. So working with the SVV, those are the radical socialists, or the Bundesverbundet, who are the social liberals. So we have a choice. Who do we want to work with? Do we want to go radical socialist? Or do we want to stay moderate? Not go too crazy. Need to keep remembering where the question mark is. So SVV versus Bundesverbundet. And guess what? I can actually do with the O dots on it, because I have a Swedish keyboard. So there. SVV, or the Bundesverbundet. But it's not just Amazon now in Belgium, it's also bargain month when all stores have to deliver 60 packages a day and have around 600 mailboxes. Okay, yeah, that sucks. Alright, so the votes are in. SVV came in last with just 22% of the votes, meaning that the Bundesverbundet is easily the winner. So social liberalism goes up by 10%. Social liberals join the coalition. Political instability goes away, so we lose the stability debuff. That's good. Which we would not have lost if we did this. And Hanson comes in, who is resource gain efficiency and factory output. I think Baga is better. Yeah, that fuel capacity later on would have been really nice. Actually, factory output 10%. He's also really strong. Cool. So Hanson's now in charge. Next elections in 1940. Turkestan declared Ron Xinjiang. And now that we have a slightly better idea of who our people are, we can go for some of these. So, consumer goods down, production efficiency up, stability and research. Like Ericsson sounds really, really good. Kassel, production efficiency cap, retention, political power, surrender limit, or political power, economy and trade laws, or just a massive stability boost. Well, I really like the mixed economy guy, and I also really like Sigurd Eriksson. I think that Sigurd Eriksson's the one we go. We're just going to bump up that stability. Alright, let's do that. And then we'll get the Royal Institute of Technology, and in 9 days we finish fuel storage, so we can start getting the 1939 industry super early, which would be great. And we can do the opposition victory. Massive population bonuses this way. Oh, and this is the Nordic Federation, right. However, I think I want to start working on our industry. LCAB would be really good, because that gives us the civilian factory construction speed. We must not allow Swedish industry to be left behind. The government must provide economic investment to ensure its continued success. Norway needs to stay democratic for the Nordic Federation, does it? Ooh, Kamal was shot. Or else Ostlandet needs to be controlled by us. Grand Vizier and celebrated war hero, the leader of the OHF, Mustafa Kemal Pasha, was shot earlier today in Izmir while speaking to a massive crowd gathered to celebrate his recent reforms. Oops. Okay, so we can get... Oh no, I mistimed this. Shit. I was hoping to get that one. Oh well, we'll just get this one even faster. Bugger. This damn cold is really starting to annoy me. Royalist coup in Serbia. The Serbian Republic, declared in 1926, has proved to be short-lived, as unrest and socialist agitation following the election in 1936 has pushed elements of the army loyal to the house of Karađorđević to organise a putsch, led by the secret military society known as the White Hand, commanded by Peter Zivkovic. The army has overthrown the Socialist Workers' Party and declared the restoration of the Kingdom of Serbia. And we have oil again. Greece has joined the Belgrade Pact. Let's get our flyboys training again. Off you go. Romania has joined the Belgrade Pact. Serbia, Romania and Greece, the three Balkan members of the Entente, all with revanchist views of their own, have recently gathered to a common table of negotiations and have announced the beginnings of the Belgrade Pact. While this pact puts a lot of focus on cultural discussion and preserving Balkan identities, it is also a military alliance between the participants, seemingly directed at Bulgaria. The Belgrade Pact. That's the Nordic Pact, right? Now that we are Social Democrat, we could actually nationalize a major company. However, that does cost 5 million. I'm going to drop the gold standard just to see what this allows me to do. Here we go, print extra money. So that will increase inflation, but gives me 2 mil. We currently have 1 in the bank. Fevzi Pasha seizes power. War hero and celebrated commander of the Ottoman army, Fevzi Pasha seized power in Constantinople earlier today as columns of Ottoman infantry marched past the Dolmabahce Palace, arresting opposition figures in an attempt to restore order to the empire in the name of democracy and stability. What will the future bring? Jack Reed, elected President of the USA. Despite the massive instability rampant in the nation ever since the Great Depression in 1925, the presidential elections went forwards and the voting results are clear. Jack Reed and the Socialist Party of America is the 31st President of the United States. The Nordic Pact would be called the All Grey Pact. Haha, nice. Concentrated industry and mechanical computing. I think it's time that we research better guns. And possibly better artillery. Radio is too important. French Republic took 2 states. Tunisia had been annexed. Totally forgot to even check that. Spanish Civil War. Ever since the defeat of Napoleon, Spain has been plagued by violence, dissent and turmoil. No amount of pleading, deal-making and appeasement has managed to do more than paper over the cracks as tensions bubbled. Finally, they bowled over. The Spanish kingdom has been ripped apart by a 3-sided civil war between the numerous factions. And we got our light industry investments. Right. Let's grab ALKAB, which will give us the extra civilian factory and also the ability to get the really good industry design company. Sweden is home to the large expanse of steel reserves. One company specializing in extracting this is the Luossarva Kironava Aktiebolag. Funding them would be a great way to increase our exports. That sounds very Finnish. Republican victory in Brazil. While certainly not an unexpected result, confirmation has reached us that the Republican Party will stay in power in Brazil, as it has since the start of the new republic in 1927. The new president of the republic, Getulio Vargas, sworn in January, but has already promised to deal with a firm hand against the economical issues plaguing the country, and also promises to do better for the common man of Brazil in his victory speech. Well done, Brazil. Meanwhile, how are we doing here? Italian democracy survives. After many months of terrorist acts by the ANI, rocked the Italian Republic and caused many within the nation to doubt the government's ability to maintain order, a vote of no confidence was held in Milan today. It passed. Many feared it would have signalled the Republic's collapse. By the narrowest margins, the motion was defeated. And Giovanni stays in. And there we go. Shanchin Shango took 10 states, left Kuomintang lost. So the northern guys won. Meanwhile, we do have the Guangxi military clique versus the Lenguang clique. Conscription crisis in Quebec. French-speaking Canadians have long opposed conscription, viewing the idea as fighting wars on behalf of the British as offensive. How about fighting on behalf of the French, though? The same team. Now that the Canadian government has enacted full conscription in the country, the response across the French-speaking province of Quebec has been swift. French Canadians have taken to the streets in massive, crippling protests. The Crisis Commission reports. The Crisis Commission that was set up in 1936, Crisis Act, has delivered the reports of last year's balance. They've been left on your desk. Insofar, we can't afford this. We will take additional loans to fill the gap. Unemployment will be low by 2% thanks to the natural tendency of the unemployment to move towards equilibrium. Splendid. Still no debt. Greta Garbo stars in Camille. Greta Garbo stars in the American-produced movie Camille, a romantic drama. Greta Garbo is one of the biggest names in the movie industry, both in Sweden and in the world. The movie is rather harmless and holds a high-quality production, but some of the more conservative elements of our society are most upset. Her clothes are a bit revealing. Are they calling for censorship? What should we do? So what do we do? Has she been a little bit too au fait? Censor. Get me a ticket. What do you think, chat? What should we do? Yeah, get your votes in. Vote, vote, vote. And while that is happening, I'm going to say Artemoz and Mukug, thank you very much for the follows. Welcome to the channel. Glad to have you joining us. Alright, votes are almost in. Any second now. Really? You're toying with me. There we go. Ha! Lenin has again chosen to censor with his one-man vote. 98% of chat have said, no, get me a ticket. So Assassin, thank you very much for the bits. And Hylixian Pelixian contributed 6,000 channel points. Thank you for that too. So we're going to go and get some tickets. Charlotte voted centre. But Lenin, he's the one with the track record of being the one-man voter. Standing against the tides of democracy. I'm guessing, seeing as my aeroplanes have stopped drilling, that we are now fully trained. We are. Excellent. So, boat time. And I think, actually, the most important segment for us are going to be the submarines. So I'm going to say, you lot go ahead and train up first. Serbia declared war on Bulgaria. The Fourth Balkan War. The country was reborn in the Balkans after the Weltkrieg. Greater Bulgaria, the titan of the peninsula uniting all of the Bulgarian lands and beyond. This kingdom for all Bulgarians was born in bloodshed and war, though, defeating Serbia, Greece and Romania in the Weltkrieg. A move that these three nations are still bitter about today. And war support is now over 25%, so we could try to go for partial mobilization. However, I think I am first going to go for the agricultural board. Oh no, one of the following. So yeah, one of these two, and we're not that far away from getting the oil shale and SSAB. The Swedish Agricultural Production Board, or the APB, will be created in order to help guide our people through this disaster. Through careful government oversight, we can make sure the agricultural products make it to where they need to be. And we're about to see another burst of unemployment reduction. I think we'll actually go down to 10%. News has arrived from the Chinese province of Yunnan that the interim governor, Long Yun, has successfully deposed the National Revolutionary Army after a series of revolts that sprung up throughout the mountainous province. Led by General Zhu Paid, the Revolutionary National Army now marches peacefully in the Yunnanese capital. Militarist revolt in Paraguay. The situation in the South American nation of Paraguay has reached fever pitch as the government of Jose Felix Estegabarria has finally collapsed in the wake of failed policy programs. More coups? My word. Continue with our industrial upgrades. Support the CIFRC. The province of Sichuan has long been subject to food insecurity. Recently, however, the problem has worsened and the province has officially entered a famine. Have I tried Canadian fries? You mean with poutine or without? Because no, I haven't tried poutine. I definitely want to someday. Like, it's got cheese in it. Of course I'm going to like it. Finished your Fallout New Vegas playthrough last week finally. Nice. That's something I still need to complete. In fact, like any other Bethesda games, I've never completed any of them. I put like 500 hours in, just never finish. Old World Blues, it killed me. It just robbed me of any interest I had in that in that game. The mod is fantastic, don't get me wrong. In the game, Old World Blues DLC for Fallout New Vegas. I hated it. I find it funny, Mordred, how people talk about Russia and how, well, USSR was a model of socialism, but really it wasn't socialist. I don't think anyone's argued that Russia was actually socialist, Katie. It really wasn't. So, do we want to send a shipment of grain to Sichuan or financial support? I'm going to say grain, because we are socialist in this, and we're kind of nice. Ottoman Empire declared war on Bulgaria. Okay, so the Bulgarians are screwed. No longer get the effects of reassured business, that's fine. And in fact, I totally forgot that we even had reassured business, so that didn't do anything for us. It just made sure that we could have the election. I have a surplus of guns. I think I might actually start training some more infantry. Let's get 2 of you going. Crisis is over. And there we go. With unemployment level below 12%, the Swedish economy is running once more at the speed it once did before the disturbing events of Black Monday. We have successfully resolved the economic downturn. February 1937, that was a really quick recovery. Especially as we're not playing with the enhanced focus times like we usually do. And no, encourage urbanization wouldn't have given me anything free. So now we can wrap up the Crisis Commission. I took out 1 million too much. Too much of a surplus. And there we go. Done. Don't worry everyone, I fixed Sweden. And I think on that note, I'm actually going to end this stream because my cold is really acting up and I'm struggling. So, on the note of having fixed Sweden, see, it's not that hard. If you have any social problems, just spend your way out of it. Easy. So many economists are going, ah! Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, be sure to hit that follow button to get notifications when I'm live again in the future. If you really enjoyed this and you would like to see more of this series, then please do subscribe to help the channel out. Or you can also check out the Patreon at patreon.com/MordredViking. I do have a YouTube channel, which you can find at youtube.com/MordredViking, where the Old World Blues Vault City series is being uploaded, as is the really good UK World Ablaze, which has been awesome. That's been a really fun series, so go check those out. I'll probably upload this one, maybe once we've got a little bit further into it, so I can see how the series goes. Otherwise, I don't know when I'm streaming next. As you know, cold, bad. I'm hoping to do some tomorrow, but honestly, it's going to be down to how I feel. Whether this wipes me out completely or not. So maybe tomorrow, maybe not. I have visitors again next week, so regular streaming times are just up in the air. Like the whole of July is an unknown. Once we get back into August, that's when things should get a little bit more steady. Anyway, that's all for me for now. Oh shoot, yeah, EU4 multiplayer stuff. That's going to be mostly you lot talking to me, so we'll go ahead and do that. Because I did say that I would spend the last half an hour or so of this stream checking out EU4 Ambinar stuff, because I am open to suggestions. So let me just go and boot up EU. This may take a second because it's doing all the initial loading for the